Okay, we're up here on Richard's claims. He's exposing a bedrock discontinuity down there so we can examine it. It appears to be a controlling structure on the ore zone. This material here is old waste dumps, and if you see, there's different color materials. That was on the top of the old waste dump, and that makes perfect sense in that that looks less oxidized, presumably from deeper in the ground. Presumably it takes longer to get deeper than shallower. We did some preliminary panning yesterday, actually the day before. We screened this to 30 mesh, and the 30 mesh minus was running like quarter ounce to the ton. So what we want to do is find out whether or not this is useful to process. And what we've done is taken one bucket of each, marked the buckets, and then we're going to take it back and we're going to wet screen it, get fraction sizes, and then crush the coarser material to see whether or not the hard rock actually has gold in it, or whether it's just fractures. Here's Norm helping me out up here, and a lot of times in these dumps, because the gold tends to be in the softer minerals and in the cracks, the fine material will be a high upgrade of the coarser material, and all you have to do is screen it to go from something like maybe 0.05 ounces to the ton to a quarter ounce to the ton. No crushing involved, and it makes it real simple to process this material here. Yeah, I'm guessing we got, just a quick guess, somewhere in the neighborhood of 20 to 50 tons here. So we might be able to make a little money moving it or not. We shall see. Now that we've done our best to get as representative a sample as we can in 50 pounds of rock, now what we're going to do is we're going to screen it to a quarter mesh and then 20 mesh, crush the oversize, and check them all to see where the gold is. Previous tests indicated that the 20 mesh minus should have significant amounts of gold. The question is, can we screen it and throw away the rest, or do we need to crush it? So that's what I'll do now. So at this point, we have the 20 mesh minus, which is 10, maybe 15% of the start. There's the quarter to 20, and here's your quarter inch plus. Now, one thing we can tell from this quarter inch plus is what they were tunneling through to get the ore. There's very little of this dark rock, which in this area is serpentine, and it's almost all this metavolcanics, some with talc veins in it like this. So that appears to be the host rock of the actual structure, or at least what they tunneled through to get to it. Why they didn't take the serpentine? Maybe it wasn't there. Maybe they just left that as a footwall. I don't know. But at least that gives us an idea what they were going through without ever going underground, which we will do. But now we'll take these, we'll dry the two larger fractions so that we can crush them, and then compare them with that, the 20 mesh minus, and see where the gold is and whether any of this is worth processing. And on the second sample from the gray dump, you can see even a bigger differentiation between the coarse and the fine. And we'll see what this stuff looks like. None of the darker rock at all. And here's what we have for all our efforts this afternoon. The best grade we saw was probably in the neighborhood of 1/4 ounce to the ton on the 20 mesh minus from the brown dump, which if you had a lot of tonnage would be a significant resource potentially, since all you have to do is screen it. There's no crushing, mining, or anything. You just move it, screen it, and separate it. So with sufficient throughput and a low enough cost, if you had a big enough dump, you could make some serious money. So make sure, take your dumps, take some samples, and especially screen some fine stuff out of it and test it, because as we found here, the fine material was running twice what the 1/4 inch to 20 mesh was, and which was again twice what the 1/4 inch plus was. So quite often the fines are a significant upgrade, because the gold occurs generally in the softer minerals and in the cracks between the harder mineral grains. Happy prospecting, and keep it safe out there.